Welcome to the HaltingWinter podcast. I'm Seth Winterhalter. If you are a city manager, a county administrator, department head trying to lead well in local government, well, you're in the right place. This week in the MLDC, the Municipal Leadership Development Circle, we're diving into a book called Grit, The Power of Passion and Perseverance. It's by Angela Duckworth, and it's one of my favorite books. Maybe I don't know, top 10. It's so hard. Definitely in the top 20, top 30 of books on my shelf. I love this book. One thing before we dive into the summary of the book for you, I want to remind you about an exclusive tool for you. A part of the MLDC is the Leadership and Culture program, and we just had last week our Leadership and Culture webinar, the first one of the year. It's a part of a 9-part series, and this first one is on personal well-being, especially when work-life balance is what I call BS. It's just work-life balance is a horrible framework. I think it does more harm than good, and so that's why we started the year off with it. How do you become a person who cares for your personal well-being? Because you can't be a leader who drives organizational excellence, a thriving culture, if you're not taking care of yourself, if you're always on empty inside of your energy and your fuel capacity. So I want you to have access to the first webinar. It's only going to be up online for another week till the end of January. So go over to our YouTube page. You can just, the link is in the show notes. You can search Seth Winterhalter, my name, on YouTube or the HaltingWinter podcast. I'm sure it'll come up. Go to the YouTube page and watch the Leadership and Culture Training session, Personal Well-Being When Work-Life Balance is BS, and glean from that. Hopefully start your year off really thinking about how you maintain a better sense of personal well-being so that you can be a leader and create a culture of impact. Okay, again, it's through the end of January. If you want to learn more about the MLDC, go to haltingwinter.com/MLDC, and you can learn more about the community and use the links to join us. Let's jump into the book, Grit. Love this book. Let's talk about why it matters for your leadership. Well, here's a question. Why do some leaders survive the grind of local government while others burn out or just quit internally? You ever been around people that just checked out? They're just counting the days until retirement. Well, it's not about intelligence. You know plenty of smart people who couldn't handle the political pressures, the public criticisms, the slow pace of change that local government is. It's also not about charisma. You've seen dynamic leaders flame out when they realize local government isn't about just inspiring speeches. It's about enduring Tuesday night council meetings for decades. So what separates the leaders in local government who thrive from just those who survive? Angela Duckworth spent years researching this question, and her answer, again, not to local government, just to leadership. We're going to drive into local government in the context, but the answer is both simple and profound. She calls it one word, that word, grit. Grit, she says, is the combination of passion and perseverance. She says it's not about intensity. It's about endurance. It's not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the one who keeps showing up even when everyone else taps out and quits. Duckworth in her research studied West Point cadets, spelling bee champions, salespeople, teachers, and she found that grit predicts success better than IQ, better than even talent, better than any other personality test. She said the people who accomplish the most aren't necessarily the most gifted. They're the ones who refuse to give up on their long-term goals. Here's where I think the research matters for you as a municipal leader. First, local government demands a different kind of toughness than the private sector. You can't just quit difficult clients and find easier ones. You can't just pivot to a new market when this one gets hard. You serve the community you have, under the constraints you face, with the resources you're given. Period. That requires grit. It requires the ability to get knocked down at Tuesday's council meeting and show up Wednesday morning still believing that change is possible. It's the capacity to pursue a multi-year initiative even when the budget gets cut, the staff turns over, and the community questions your competence. Duckworth makes a crucial distinction. She says staying on the treadmill when things are uncomfortable is one thing. Getting back on the treadmill the next day when you've been knocked off and eager to keep trying again, see, that is grit. And that's what determines whether you'll still be engaged and effective in year 15 of your career or just counting down the days to retirement. Now, here's the second reason that I think the book really matters for you. You're not just trying to survive the grind yourself. You are trying to build an organization that can handle that grind and can still create dynamic impact. In local government, you can't just hire your way to excellence, right? The reality of the systems that you're in, you just have limited options. You have union contracts, oftentimes protect underperformers. Limited budgets mean you can't just compete on compensation. So what do? Duckworth offers a compelling answer. She says you cultivate grit. You create a culture where people don't just quit when things get hard, where struggle then is seen as the path to excellence, not evidence of failure, where sustained effort matters more than just natural talent. See, the private sector can recruit talent with money and perks, but you build capacity through culture. And grit, helping people develop passion for their work and perseverance through obstacles, well, I think that can be a sustainable competitive advantage. Again, I always say local government is the best place to work because the mission is so impactful. And I believe humanity was created for purpose. It needs work. It needs to feel like it's doing something that actually is doing good. Here's an insight from the book that might be worth the price of admission. It's Duckworth's formula for achievement. She says talent times effort equals skill, and skill times effort equals achievement. Now, do you notice what appears twice in that equation? It's effort. It counts in developing your abilities, and it counts again in applying them to real problems. This is really liberating for leaders who can't just hire the most talented people. You don't need to find naturally gifted employees. You need to develop those who will put in the consistent effort. You need to create an environment where that effort is recognized and rewarded. Again, all these things and more we're going to talk about this week within the MLDC. And not only are we going to talk about it, a daily podcast, daily blog, but we have the community there to push back, to say, well, what does this look like in our unique places? And you get to share ideas, insights, implementation tools with a community. So I want to encourage you, if you're a municipal leader who's tired of just surviving and you want to build an organization that gets better instead of just older, if you're looking for a community of leaders asking the same questions and pursuing this type of excellence, well, the MLDC is for you. And so I want you to really consider joining. Go over to HaltingWinter.com/MLDC so you can learn specifically what the MLDC is about. And remember that first leadership and culture training session of 2026 is available on our YouTube channel only through the end of January there. So go to YouTube, search Seth Winterhalter, look at the channel and check that out. Head over to HaltingWinter.com/MLDC to learn more about joining this dynamic community, because enthusiasm is common. You see it everywhere, but endurance, I think that's rare. That is what we're trying to build together. Again, thanks for listening. I'm Seth Winterhalter. This has been the Halting Winter Podcast. If you're a leader in local government, thank you, and keep leading with impact.